those who, all the way up to Secretary Clinton, there were many hundreds of people who should be disciplined. Some have been. That's some of the things we found in the report. There are members of the Department of Defense and CIA and State Department who have been disciplined. There are others who are in the process of being disciplined, both internally and then externally through the court. Of course, military discipline through the JAG court is much quicker and much more. The military takes dereliction of duty extremely seriously.
Yes, they do.
And so those issues will be handled a lot quicker than that. Another thing, the statements by former Defense Secretary Leon Panetta, who says that he did make the order to deploy military assets to Benghazi 8 hours prior to the death of our ambassador. Those orders were listened to, but also impeded by both the administration but also by the military apparatus in place. One thing that I found extremely disturbing in the report
I know where you're going.
Was the fact that they sat on the tarmac for 3 hours in Rota, Spain, while they changed their uniforms 4 times.
4 times. So as not to, from what I understood, so as not to offend.
There were conflicting reports from different departments going at them, telling them that which would look best. Some of them was to deal with the offense, and some of them was to deal with the fact that whether or not they would be attacked by the Libyan government. The first request is understood in the sense that these soldiers would have been in a different style of fatigue from going from a European theater into a desert theater. The first change was responsible, and it did not take long, by the way.
Right.
We completely understand that. You're moving from one theater to
Sure.
another. The second was a report, a order that stated we need to make sure that we're not going to be in conflict with the Libyan government. Now, the problem here is there was really no Libyan government at the time.
Right.
Okay. There was turmoil over the people who were loyalists to Gaddafi, people who were Al-Qaeda, people who were Boko Haram, there were so many different fighting factors and rebels involved in here. Who were you worried about attacking you?
Over saving those American lives.
Yeah.
And you know, even if there had been this quote unquote Libyan government in place, why would you even consider that over these lives?
Well, if there had been a Libyan government in place, the quick and easy thing is to contact the Libyan government and to state that we are coming in aid of our assets in Benghazi. Do not attack us. This is not an invasion. Right. We're here for that purpose. That is reasonable and understood. However, you did not have a Libyan government that you could contact. Mm-hmm. And even if you had contacted them, you would have provoked attack from the Libyan government, who was not ruling factor, which was, none of which were friendly to the United States or its assets. But the fact that they sit there for 8 hours... wasn't that terrible. About the amount of time that they were tortured? And I mean, it was unbelievable. Yes. And well, it made it to where they could not reach them in time because of the changes there.
Oh, sure.
So that's an issue. The CIA as well. There are some issues there with some orders that were taken down. Of course, we know that the CIA. Sean Smith and Glenn Doherty and others, Tyrone Woods, those heroes, they defied order.
Right.
Okay. They defied order to come in and serve their country and to save their ambassador. That's a problem. That's a problem to say that the CIA was not giving them what they needed. There were other CIA operatives in surrounding countries that could have reached them. Of course, we are not to know how many or where, because that is a confidential matter.
Sure,
but it is in the report that they should be looked into pretty quickly about how the CIA handled it as well. Of course, the State Department is an issue as well. You had people in the diplomatic corps and people who were merit employees of the State Department, all the way up to political appointees that aided the secretary. The secretary repeatedly ignored requests directly to her by the ambassador for increased security. Mm-hmm. He said that he did not feel safe in Benghazi or in Libya, period, by the way. He was not supposed to be in Benghazi that day, according to the State Department. But then, of course, there's a question of, were they really communicating well enough to know where he was going to be or should have been at any point in time? And he was there, by the way, because he did not feel safe in Tripoli. Mm-hmm. That's why he was there. So the other question from the report that it really has bothered me the most is the fact that she denies, she as in Hillary Clinton,
yes,
denies stating that there was blame put on the video from the secretary for the attack. Of course, the question is, who do we believe? Do we believe Hillary Clinton, or do we believe someone like Patricia Smith, the mother of Sean Smith, who says that not only Hillary Clinton, but Joe Biden and Susan Rice and President Obama all told her at the funeral ceremony that it was the video? Do we believe Patricia? And do we believe the other family members, the parents of Tyrone Woods, the parents of Glenn Doherty? Do we believe them, or do we believe Hillary Clinton? I've said over and over again, I'm not here to tell you who to vote for, but I'll tell you this: I believe Patricia Smith. And Patricia just wanted answers.
Yes.
And instead, Hillary Clinton called her a liar.
Yeah. May have been the pot calling the kettle black there. 571-2428, 571-CHAT. If you have a question, if you have a comment, please, this is your opportunity to voice your voice on Just Ask Joyce. I rhymed.
WFIA, The Spirit.
About Face Spa and Salon has a top-of-the-line product line that you can't resist. Glymed, Nerium, Moroccan Oil, Kenra, Jane Iredale, Colorproof, and more. Then, of course, their professional techs are caring and provide a personal touch you'll come to love. They're located at 1370 Veterans Parkway in Clarksville, Indiana. Call 812-288-2300 and book your appointment today. Or go to their website, aboutfacespaandsalon.com, and book online. And tell them Just Ask Joyce sent you.
This is a special announcement for all Americans who owe back taxes to the IRS or state. Pay attention. There's a special toll-free hotline set up especially for you. This hotline will give you free information on how you can legally reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call the taxpayer hotline today at 1-800-442-4840. Grab a pen or put the number in your cell phone. 1-800-442-4840. You'll speak with qualified professionals who will tell you how to stop the collection calls, IRS letters, bank levies, and wage garnishments. And they'll deal directly with the IRS on your behalf so you don't have to. Even if you haven't filed returns or are already in a payment plan, you can still get relief. New IRS settlement policies have opened the doors for a fresh start. But hurry, this won't last forever, and your tax problem will only get worse if you do nothing or try to handle it yourself. It makes a big difference in who you call. So call the taxpayer hotline today for free information. 1-800-442-4840. 1-800-442-4840.
From 1966 to 2016, WFIA has been a part of your life. Why do you listen?
I like the variety. I hear brand new messages throughout the day.
WFIA celebrates 50 years of going places with you, at home, in the car.
We keep it on in the car because it encourages us in the morning. It's the things my family needs to hear. I know they won't hear anything racy.
Now we want to hear your story. How has WFIA affected your life? Share it with us at 423-3133. Call now, 423-3133. You're listening to Just Ask Joyce on WFIA, The Spirit.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Garrett Sivaking is with me. We are talking about Election Selection 2016. The events that we are talking about, now we have talked considerable amount of time regarding the Turkish attack and at the airport there in Istanbul. And also now we've been talking about Benghazi. why should they concern us? Why should these events concern us? Why should they, Garrett?
Well, it says a lot to the way that, the claims that were made in 2008 by Secretary Clinton of that she's the most prepared to answer the 3 a.m. phone call. Of course, Mr. Trump made an unfortunate comment saying that she didn't answer that 3 a.m. phone call when it was in the afternoon. But that's, to me, is a semantics there. But she did fail to respond, not only on Benghazi, on several other occasions. The attacks leading up to Benghazi around the Middle East, the outrage, quote unquote, from people in these countries over this video, which never occurred. This was not an outrage to a video at all. We know that now. They know that now. They don't even claim it anymore.
Well, they're trying to let everybody forget it. They really would like for it to go away.
There's a lot, yes. Well, Hillary Clinton actually did say on the campaign trail yesterday that it's time for it to move on. We're time to move on.
No, I'm sure she'd like for it to.
Well,
yes.
And the issue, once again, this is the issue that I have with that whole situation, is I watched interview after interview after interview with these families